He faced incredible odds and unbeatable enemies to earn the name Hero. But now there's a new way to spell action. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He's the best there is.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pet Detective.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough.
Now, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins has been kidnapped. Oh! A lifetime.
Listen, Pet Dick, how would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois.
There's no place he won't go.
Captain's log, stardate 23.9.
Ace, get out of the tank.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Nothing he won't do. And no one he can't handle.
Hey!
If you do anything to embarrass me in front of camp.
What? Like this?
Hi, Captain Steubing.
Because when this pet detective gets the scent,
Where's Dan Marino?
Hi, I'm Dan Marino.
Reno, why?
Because he's about to join Snowflake.
he'll follow it anywhere.
Here's Snowflake.
Jim Carrey is
Do not go in there.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yes, yes, yes.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Movie Watchalong here on And I Quote channel. We are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Jim Carrey's Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and I am not alone in celebrating this comedic film. Please welcome our esteemed colleague, Mr. Marino. Austin is here. Austin, welcome in, good sir. How are you?
Man, it's kind of weird that this movie's 30 years old. That's one of those head trips. This movie's 30 because, I watched this movie a lot growing up. So, this is a big one, anniversary-wise, that kind of trips your head out.
Yeah, certainly is. And we've just reached the tip of the iceberg. We're only in the month of February of 2024, and we have a lot more movie watch-alongs to go. But before we get to those, going to give you an opportunity to get to know us a little bit better here on the show. Now, we're going to be watching this movie, but before we do, we're going to turn things over to Austin and hear what he has to say about some of the thoughts and feelings he had when watching this movie 30 years ago. But if you want to queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service, please do so now. And we will be starting the film momentarily. We'll begin our feature presentation momentarily, I should say. So, Austin, what was it like watching this movie 30 years ago? And what were your thoughts on it then?
I can't remember if I saw this movie in the theaters or not because I would have been about 8. So maybe not. I don't have a clear memory of that. But I do have pretty clear memories of this being a TBS TNT staple of the weekend cable watchings. And I saw it a whole lot, left and right. So much so that, eventually bought it on DVD. But I probably know this movie just backwards and forwards from my many, many cable watchings. But being a pretty big Jim Carrey fan in the 90s, as were most people. He had a hell of a 1994, as we'll probably talk about between this and Dumb and Dumber and The Mask. He had a pretty big triple feature there and continued his success there and eventually became the $20 million man. One of the highest paid actors in the 90s.
Definitely, for sure. And we thank you for sharing that with us. So for me, I remember watching this movie a lot as a kid. I watched it on VHS. I watched it numerous times. I laughed hysterically numerous times during the course of this film. And I had such a blast watching it. It was one of the first movies I can remember quoting like word for word when I was in school with my fellow classmates. This is one of the two films that I would quote all the time. I would quote this and Aladdin. So 2 movies that begin with the letter A, go figure. And it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this movie for so many different reasons. Jim Carrey was one of 2 actors who inspired me to become an actor or to get into acting or to study acting and being on stage and entertaining the crowds and all that stuff. So Jim Carrey in this movie do hold a special place in my heart. Some things, as we're going through the course of this film, may or may not hold up as much as they used to 30 years ago, but we'll find out as we go through this. So those are my thoughts on back in the day, anyway, 30 years ago when I was watching this. And by the way, on VHS, there's actually 2 different versions of this movie. On VHS, there was one version, and now on physical media and maybe even the streaming services, I don't know, there's a different version of a certain scene that takes place within this movie. Let us know in the comments if you can pick it out and figure out what scene or scenes were altered in the 2 different takes. Because on the VHS tape, it specifically said, this is the version you couldn't see in theaters. And I'm thinking, that's interesting. And some things when I was watching when I was a kid, went over my head, but not so much anymore now that I'm an adult. So with that being said, we are about to start this film at the 0000 mark as the Warner Brothers logo is coming up on a physical media or streaming service. So Austin, if you are ready,
yeah,
and I'm ready, let's begin our feature presentation and begin our celebration of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective in 3, 2, 1, and hit play. Here we go.
All right.
And by the way, Brian Nussbaum's in the comments. He says, I'm one of those people who liked When Nature Calls even more so than the original. Wow, Brian. Enjoy being in that corner by yourself.
Jim Carrey is one of the guys that says the original is better because he has pretty much disowned When Nature Calls. He doesn't like it. Yeah, he does not like it. He kind of regrets making it, actually, is what he said.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No kidding.
I think the movie's okay. I think this one's tighter, a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I like the smaller version of the story. But yeah, we used to have this movie also on there was a VHS we had in my high school Spanish class that I took for several years, and it just had Spanish subtitles on it. But we used to have like fun Fridays where we used to just do whatever. And she had 2 VHS. She had Tommy Boy and Ace Ventura. So we just watched either one of those every Friday. So I saw this movie. So I've seen this movie a lot.
Oh, for sure. He's having a good time beating up this package, isn't he?
Yeah.
Clink, clink, clink. Like
I like the little moment where it's just like,
yeah, and it's got 5 stickers on it that says fragile,
right.
Or in some movies they say fragile.
Yeah.
It's like, keep throwing it. Good soundtrack too.
Yeah.
I like the opening song here that they're using. It's funny. It just works.
God, the elevator slam, slam.
And it says HDS on it, and he's wearing a brown outfit, so clearly it's a rip on UPS.
HDS coming through. Got a package, people.
That's true. That's true. And Brian also goes on to say, my go-to Jim Carrey film has always been Liar Liar. It's my second favorite comedy film, behind Billy Madison being my favorite comedy.
Billy Madison turns 30 next year.
Oh, it does. Yes, it does. Yeah. That's
and no, I also agree. I think Liar Liar to me might be my actual like top favorite, just because I've always argued that I think pound for pound, joke for joke, minute for minute, that's his funniest movie. Just that Liar Liar is just great, and I think it's damn near perfect. But yeah, no, I like this movie a lot too, though. But this is I forget this dude's name, but he's in a bunch of stuff in the 90s. He was in Naked Gun 33 1/3 also.
Yeah, he was in that shower scene.
In the shower scene, yeah, he's trying to seduce Leslie Nielsen in the jail. And there's he's in a bunch of stuff. Like he's been in a million things.
I wonder what else.
Him and MC Gainey were always like the scuzzy looking kind of convict guys in movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I forget this dude's name, but he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
I wonder what other films he's been featured in, other than the Naked Gun franchise.
Oh yeah. No, he's in a bunch.
He's
of
like,
stuff.
that's a lovely dog you have there, sir. You mind if I pet him?
Yeah.
Don't give a rat's
Right.
ass.
Oh, right.
It's like, okay, you don't care. Who's your boo-boo daddy? Oh my! And he's like, "This is you need to sign here, here, and here, initial here, and put your name here."
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh my gosh!
God damn it!
That's all right, sir. I can finish the rest. Just have yourself a good day. Take care now. Bye bye then.
Oh, Tex Cobb. That's right. Yeah, he's been in a million movies. Yeah, Randall Tex Cobb. He's been in a bunch of stuff. He was in Raising Arizona also.
Oh, Raising Arizona. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nick Cage. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was Nick Cage, and who was his love interest?
There's a deleted scene in Liar Liar. There was a deleted opening that he was in where Fletcher was defending him in Liar Liar, and there, you can see it online. But he's still credited in the movie, but it's a deleted thing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. He's also Ernest Goes to Jail, of course. He's Lyle, like the little he's the guy that kind of is trying to teach him. He's like Nash's muscle, essentially. Yeah. So he's been in a bunch of stuff. Yeah. The first of the losers of many.
There must be a loser.
Loser.
I mean, Jim Carrey definitely put his spin on saying certain words out loud. That is for
Yeah,
sure.
I think he had his sights set on making some new catchphrases. That's for sure, and we'll see which some caught on more than other ones.
Yeah,
Same thing in Bruce Almighty. He really tried to push some catchphrase in Bruce
Mhm.
Almighty, and those did not catch on as much.
No, they didn't, unfortunately.
The couple of ones he tried to push in that one, it's good, like that didn't catch on. The BEA beautiful did not catch on.
Yeah.
Bruce Almighty, yeah, but some of the ones from this one stuck.
It's flooded. We'll just wait a few seconds.
Or
Warning.
we can try it now.
or we can we're closer than they appear. It's alive.
Yeah.
It's alive. Pulls a Frankenstein in him.
Yeah, I know.
You want to give me a push while you're back there, pal?
Yeah, right.
He's just going to town on this car.
Yeah.
It's alive. It's alive. Oh,
Dog
gosh.
bites him. He bites him.
Dog does, and then he does it. I mean, my gosh, man. It's crazy.
So Carrey famously modeled his whole performance after a bird. The look of the Hawaiian shirts, like a tropical bird, his little head bobbing, all the little
comb over with the
twitches and
hair.
things. Yeah, the comb over, the back and forth, kind of a cockatiel, parrot sort of thing.
Wow.
So that was his whole way of kind of saying words as well, how a parrot would say words, things like that. Now, it was funny. When you're a kid, you don't understand what she does here, but when you're an adult, you do. But when you're like 8 years old watching,
you have no idea what's going on.
You have no idea what the hell's going on in the scene. That's another of those things you realize later. Yeah.
And this actress here was the same one who cameoed at the end of Three Amigos.
Yeah.
She was the flower girl that made out with Ned Niederlander, Martin Short's character, at the end of that movie. You remember that?
I think so. It's been a minute since I've seen Three Amigos, but
that's the same actress. It's this woman in this scene.
Gotcha.
I forget her name. I apologize.
Rebecca Ferretti or something like that is her
name.
Name. Yeah.
She was in both movies. So
okay. She's also in she's a playmate in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, jeez.
So there you go.
I haven't seen Beverly Hills Cop 2. I've only seen the first one. So
2, some people prefer because it's Tony Scott. That was his director, one of his first director, not his debut, but one of his early ones. And so there's a little more amped up action in that one, as well. This has been many a trivia things in our community. What's the name of the dolphin there, Ryan?
that would be Snowflake.
Snowflake, yeah. So
the name of the dolphin, it just happens to be Snowflake for the Miami Dolphins, which are in Miami, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
When I find Snowflake, I'll deliver Marino, which is later in the film, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the thing I'm a little confused about. Is the person who's overlooking this operation in the suit and wearing the 84 championship ring, is that Ray Finkel, or is it just one of his goons?
I don't know. I tend to think it's one of the goons, but
yeah,
I'm not
because
sure.
It can't be Ray Finkel and the other character, which we'll get to a little bit later on in the film, because that's too weird.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the goons, one of his, because there's two big dudes that work with the antagonists of this movie, and it must have been the really tall guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking it was him in that scene, honestly. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just speculating. If anyone else knows this, let me know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. And for those of you just joining us, this is the 30th anniversary celebration watch-along of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective starring Jim Carrey, and we're joined by our good friend Austin. If you want to queue up your copy on what is known as a physical media or a streaming service, you can watch the movie along with us, share your thoughts about it in the comments, in the chat. If you're joining us live on the replay, we thank you for being here. Austin, where are we at in the film?
We're just a little after the 8-minute mark or so, about 8:15, and we're about to meet Mr. Chickadance, the landlord, and that's Mark Margolis, who is the Breaking Bad, the bell ringer guy in the wheelchair.
Oh, is
pops
it?
up throughout Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
No kidding.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever saw Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah, he's the old man in the wheelchair who's constantly ringing the little bell. So
that
anybody who knows Breaking Bad knows that, but he's in a bunch of stuff. He was in Scarface. He was in, I think, Eastern Promises. He's been in a million things. That dude's been in everything. So yeah, he's another a lot of kind of recognizable
offbeat characters.
a
Maybe.
lot of character actors, yeah, in this movie all over the
You owe
place.
me rent. Mr. She Could Dance, I told you, you're my first priority. By the way, Derpy Entertainment is here with us. He says, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel. That may be a
Oh
minor
my
spoiler for later on
god.
in the film.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're watching this movie 30 years later and you haven't seen it, that's on you.
Yeah.
But,
But Derpy Entertainment, thank you for being with us, as well as to
yeah,
Brian Nussbaum. Thank you for being with us as well.
yeah.
What's all this pet food for? Fiber.
No,
I didn't understand what that meant at the time.
yeah.
But now that I get it,
I didn't understand when I was a kid that this thing you did with the door where he's shaking it is the
That's his signal.
signal to the animals. I didn't understand that was
Yep.
just like warning to the animals to go hide. I thought he was legitimately having like trouble with his lock.
He's having trouble with the keys.
Because well, I mean, my key at my house, I have to like turn
You
it.
have to jimmy
I
it?
have to jimmy it a little bit to like get it to work. But he's signaling. Well, again, but how would he not notice that he has like a doggy door on his freezer for the penguins? Like
That's a
weird.
good point. How can he not? Yeah, there it is, right there. It's in plain sight, dude.
Yeah, it's
I don't get. And then he says, "Just don't let me catch you with an animal in here." There's a doggy door by the fridge, man. So
yeah.
what do you
Why would you have a
expect?
doggy door on your freezer? Yeah, that's weird.
And then he says, "Take care now, bye bye." That, and he's got that giant bag full of pet food. Like,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. And then look at this. He's got like 50,000 animals living in his apartment.
Hey, there's some good animal acting in this movie. I always appreciate good animal acting in a movie.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, I
What's
appreciate
your favorite
good-
animal in this scene?
No, I mean, I appreciate the fact that how much
It's a lot of
good
training.
animal training had to get to have all the
Yeah.
birds land on him, have them sit around him like this,
And
and
the
be still
penguins.
for a shot. Yeah, to have them all
And the
like
penguins to sit still.
well, and later on, there's a very saucy scene where they're all watching, and they all had to be chained up for that because they were getting agitated. That's a fun
Ooh,
factoid about this
we'll
movie.
dive into that scene a little bit later on. By the way,
Yeah,
Derpy
right.
Entertainment also goes on to state, I wonder how much money Dan Marino got paid for his cameo role in this movie.
I'm sure you got paid something, but
And then Derpy goes on to say, laces out.
uh-huh.
And then I want pet dolphin mascot now. Derpy Entertainment, you're having too much fun over there. We appreciate you, by the way. Feel free to let us know your favorite memories of this movie or your fun facts or any questions in the chat. By the way, this actor right here, he's been in a ton of stuff too.
Oh, both of the actors, yeah, the guy who plays Pedactor's been in a bunch of stuff, yeah, and the little manager guy, whatever he is,
GM, yeah.
yeah, the GM, he's been in a bunch of stuff, like mostly
Wasn't he in
TV
Walker,
stuff.
Texas Ranger?
Everybody, Tex Cobb was in Walker, Texas Ranger. All
Was
these guys were in Walker, Texas Ranger. Oh,
They
yeah.
were in all of them were in Walker, Texas.
That's the game you can play with all these characters. How many of them were on Walker, Texas Ranger? All of them is the correct answer. So, oh yeah.
Jeez. That's crazy. And then Derpy Entertainment drops the magic words. Alrighty then. I appreciate it, man.
Mhm.
By the way, was this one? I think this was one of. This wasn't the first, right? This was one of her first roles in a movie as Courtney Cox.
Yeah, this is one of her first movie roles. Yeah, she had done other TV stuff, but yeah, and they actually wanted Lauren Holly, who then would actually co-star with them in Dumb and Dumber.
That same year.
Yeah, the same year. So they wanted
Crazy.
Lauren Holly at first, but they eventually got Lauren Holly, and then Lauren Holly and Jim Carrey were married for a year before they divorced.
Yeah, that
Didn't last
lasted
very
2
long.
minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So they wanted
no.
Lauren Holly for this movie, but then she
For
couldn't
this
do it.
movie, but then yeah, I think she wasn't available for that, but she was available for Dumb
Later
and
on.
Dumber, and
Yeah.
and then but yeah, I was just looking to see if this was actually Courtney Cox's first movie. I think it was, because she was also on the same year she was on Seinfeld. She played
Yeah.
she was on an episode where her and Jerry pretended to be married to get a
Yeah.
discount on dry cleaning.
Get the discount on dry. Yeah, discount on dry cleaning.
Yeah, that's the same year though, 94. So, and she's mostly, I think she did some TV movie stuff, but yeah, she hadn't done anything really big.
Wow, that's crazy.
She
And
was
they were,
she had a small role in Masters of the Universe, but
oh jeez.
yeah,
That's going back.
Yeah, she didn't have a ton of stuff, but obviously, yeah, then
Small role in Masters of the Universe with Dolph Lundgren.
Friends was starting to take off around this time, so
Yeah, they were
yeah.
filming Friends at this point, weren't they?
right.
94.
I think they were early, like first season, second season, something like that. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty
so
early, but yeah.
Courtney Cox was a busy woman. She had this movie. She had her guest starring role on Seinfeld as one of Jerry Seinfeld's girlfriends at the
Yeah.
time, and then she's filming Friends at the same time. It's just, geez, she was a
Yeah.
very busy woman
Yeah.
in that year.
She looks awesome in this movie, by the way. She looks great.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. A lot of people may have had a crush on her during this point.
No, for sure.
I mean, she looks fantastic in this movie with the short hair like that. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. Got the business suit on. Our mascot was stolen from his tank last night. Are you familiar with Snowflake?
Negative.
It's like, you're a fan of all animals, but you don't know who Snowflake is. Okay.
Well, he doesn't watch football.
He doesn't watch sports. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
By the way, Jim Carrey and I have that. Well, his character anyway, and I have that in common. I don't care about sports. Okay, I don't.
I'm a casual fan of sports, but yeah, I'm not like hardcore statistics.
Oh,
man.
you're not hardcore? I thought you were.
No. I watch football, but the Jaguars blew it in the second half of the season, so I don't care.
Even though you're wearing their shirt right now.
Yeah, I'm still a fan, but they did the typical Jaguars thing and disappointed in the second half of the season. So that's what they do. they don't play a full season. They don't play a full game. It's what they do every year. They like to disappoint us.
They like to do it every single year.
Mm-hmm.
Way to go, Jacksonville.
I don't smoke. It's disgusting habit.
Yeah, I thought that was funny too. He's dropping all this trash on her desk.
He's got all this shit on his teeth. It's disgusting.
Would you like an ashtray? I don't smoke. Disgusting habit. 4-wheel drive van loaded from the rear.
Yeah.
By the way, Derby Entertainment says I prefer the second one.
What? Yeah,
what is going on here?
I'm encountering this phenomenon, all over my community of people I do shows with. That all these people that prefer the second one. I don't. I think it's too messy. I think it's too complicated. I mean, it's got funny. It's got funny stuff in it. I think it's too all over the place.
Yeah, they play too much. They play up too much on it. I don't know what it is. And by the way, Derpy says the rhino scene in When Nature Calls gets me every time.
Again, there's funny scenes in it. Like I think there definitely is. I prefer the tight story of this first one. I think that movie's all over the place.
Yeah,
but that's just me. I mean,
and then he goes on to say, and hearing the bat chat shaka to this day is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then Derby Entertainment says, "Womp womp, Jacksonville Jaguars."
Yeah, I know.
They do it every year, man.
They go 5-1 in their final 6 games, or excuse me, one. No, I'm 1-5, and I'm sorry.
They go
in their
1
final,
and 5.
Strike that, reverse it. 1-5 in their final games. Yeah, not good.
Is their quarterback any good?
Well, I mean, yeah, promise, but Trevor Lawrence is
not so good.
He's not quite ready. Yeah, not quite there yet.
He's not quite there yet. I didn't understand this either until I started watching Star Trek, and now I get why he's riffing on it.
I understood it at the time because I was a TNG fan, and so I grew up with Next Generation, and Generations came out the same year with Shatner. Yeah, it came out in '94. So I saw Generations in theaters because I was a huge TNG fan at the time, and I made my parents, or at least my dad, take me to see Generations.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I still like Generations.
Really? It's not that good, man.
I think I still think it's entertaining. I think it's solid, but First Contact rules. That movie's awesome.
Yeah.
That movie's great.
That movie's a masterpiece.
That movie's a huge step up. But I still like Generations. It's the nostalgia in me. I still like it enough.
Are you going to do an anniversary for it on your channel?
For Generations?
Yeah, for Generations.
Nah. When First Contact rolls around, yeah, because I love that movie.
We already did one, sadly. Sorry, we beat you to it.
For First Contact?
Yeah, we did. We already did a 25th anniversary for it, man.
Oh, a couple years ago?
Back in 2021, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sorry, man. Sorry. You missed the boat. Missed the boat. But we're doing one later this year for Search for Spock, in case anyone's interested.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a OG Star Trek guy.
Neither am I, but Search for Spock was my favorite of the original 6 films, which I know was a hot
I'm not even super into Wrath of Khan. It's just
I don't like. It's fine. I like it, but I don't love it.
I think it's decent, but those original movies just don't do anything for me. Really,
I like Search for Spock.
They're okay.
I mean, I do.
They're watchable. It's not my thing.
We're gonna do a 40th anniversary watch along later this year, ladies and gentlemen, for Star Trek 3: The Search for Spock. So feel free to join us for that one.
That was our Star Trek tangent since Ace Ventura was busy, doing his best Kirk impression.
Captain Fogg, Stardate 23.9, nearest
rounded to the nearest decimal point.
Which is so funny because I don't get star dates at all. I never understood that.
I've never understood the Stardate thing. Stardate, whatever. I don't understand why you can't just go by the Earth Gregorian calendar. Like I don't, yeah, what this star date shit is. But I guess it's because of the time dilation. I guess.
Is it?
But if it was because of the time dilation, so every time they went back to Earth, wouldn't it be like hundreds of years in the future? Like wouldn't it be all screwed up? Like Planet of the Apes? I don't know.
Planet of the
This
Apes. There's
this
a good
dude, by the way, has been in a million movies as well.
one. Yeah, he's had his fair
He's
share.
another one of those that guy type
That
things.
guy.
Yeah.
Homicide, Ventura. Now how are you going to solve that one? Good question,
Yeah.
Aguado. First, I establish a motive.
It's,
Yeah, a lot of
his
this
name.
stuff
I
is-
got the IMDb popped up on another tab. It's John Capodice. Yeah,
That's
who's also in Speed, by the way. He's which we'll be doing this
Oh
year.
yeah,
He's the bus driver.
Bus
Gets
driver.
blowed up at the beginning.
he's the dude. Yeah, the bus
Yep.
driver dude. Yeah, and by the
Uh-huh.
way, Speed is a great film that does in fact turn 30 later this year, and we will be celebrating that.
Yeah, I love Speed. Speed
Who doesn't? I
rules.
freaking
movie's
love that movie.
awesome. So yeah, he was a busy man in 1994
busy
as well.
dude.
Yeah.
By the way, this actor / musician was very busy in the 90s
Tone Loc.
too.
Tone Loc, who's also in he's in
Heat?
Surf
Heat?
He's in Heat, he's in Surf Ninjas, a childhood
Yes.
favorite of mine.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in
He
a
was
million things the
in
90s.
what was the other film he was in? Blank Check. He was in
Blank
Blank
Check.
Check.
Yeah, he's one of the
Yeah.
goons in Blank Check.
What else was he in the 90s? Do you remember outside of those?
I'm
three?
trying to think off the top of my head. I was busy looking up. I was going to say the Aguado guy was also in The Phantom. He's Al the cabbie, the cab driver.
Oh, that's right. Jeez, you're so on point, man.
Yes.
He had a
so-
busy 90s, that guy.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
did
he was.
Tone Loc. He had a busy 90s too. He was
No,
everywhere.
I'll throw out some Tone Loc here in a second. I was busy trying to remember the other thing that Homeboy was Aguado was
Bus
in. But
driver.
I mean, yeah, this movie chock full of 90s character actors all over
A
the
lot
place.
of actors.
Uh-huh.
What was the question? Oh, Derby Entertainment says, do you remember when Allen Robinson was your entire offense with Blake Bortles?
Oh geez. I don't want to get off on a tangent on Jacksonville, but yeah, Blake
What?
Blake
And then he goes
Bortles.
on to say, and Fournette that disappeared, whoever that was.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette was gone. We just gave away our entire. Blake Bortles ended up being halfway decent as a quarterback, and we gave him away. I don't know. It's a whole other thing. So I'll leave it at that.
We'll let
I
it
don't
go.
wanna
And then he
I
says,
don't- I
blank
don't-
check would not be made today. Laugh out loud, he says.
Well, Blank Check is weird because at the end, the 30-year-old FBI agent kisses the 12-year-old kid at the end of the movie, like full on lip action. And
Yeah.
it's weird.
Bit strange.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. But there's an aspect of this movie that is fairly
There's a lot of strange
sensitive
elements in
today.
this
Yeah, today.
Yeah,
Especially
a lot
with
of
the
things in this movie would not be made 30 years later.
Einhorn's Finkel. We'll get into it, but yeah, it doesn't
Later,
hold up
later.
as well. Yeah. But yeah,
hey,
Surf.
look who just walked into the room. Sean Young, who, by the way,
Yes.
she was a busy actress too.
Yeah, but I was trying to think. Yeah, because he was in. I was saying Tone Loc, Surf Ninjas, Poetic Justice, Blank Check.
Forgot about Poetic
Yeah, Heat. He was in Spy Hard.
Justice. He was in Spy.
Yeah,
Dude, I haven't seen that movie in a bit. I didn't even know he was in that. Holy cow.
yeah. But Sean Young famously was almost Catwoman in
Yeah, she
Batman
campaigned for
Returns
that role,
because
too.
she was kind of. I don't ever know if she was contracted, but she had an audition where she showed up in a cat suit,
Yep.
running around the studio. There's a
The
pretty
whip or
famous story
something?
about her, really lobbying hard to try to be Catwoman in Batman Returns, and her kind of going stalkerish trying to get that role, and then she didn't get it. So, but yeah, she was also very busy in the '90s.
Yep.
But,
and she was also in Blade Runner,
Yeah, she's in Blade Runner.
which is a that film has its fair share of fans. I'm not one of them, but
I'm not a big fan of Blade Runner either, but
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I get why people do. It's not for me. I
don't get it.
another thing.
To me, I was bored watching that movie. Both of them, actually. That and
I've
2049.
tried over and over again. I've never been able to get through that movie without falling asleep.
I was
So, yeah.
really bored watching Blade Runner, and then when
Mm-hmm.
2049 came out, I'm thinking maybe they corrected themselves, and then I watched it, and I'm thinking, no, they're still going the
Oh,
slow.
I have to talk about this. I'm a huge Cannibal Corpse fan, and this movie is influential in that. And so I've seen Cannibal Corpse, the band in this movie.
That's who this is.
It's a band called Cannibal Corpse. They're a real death metal band. This is a real band. You can see the logo in the background.
Oh, I see it
Um,
now. Yeah,
But I've seen them 5 times in concert. I
There it
love
is.
them. They're great. They've done tours with Hatebreed. I saw them here. I saw them here in Nashville, where they were the headliner. They put on great shows. But Jim Carrey was a fan of death metal. He's a fan of Cannibal
No
Corpse,
way.
and specifically wanted them to be in this scene because it called for him to go to like a rock concert or something, at some like warehouse, and he wanted Cannibal Corpse, and he got them to be in this movie because he was a fan. That's a real story.
I did not know this. I love these fun facts.
Yes. No, and here's also the thing. When he hosted SNL in 1996, this is after his run when Million Color was over. The first time he hosted in 96. And they always have a musical guest. Obviously, he wanted Cannibal Corpse to be the musical guest, and SNL looked him up and went, "No, no, that's not."
Lorne Michaels was like, "No chance."
It's like absolutely fucking not. So, but no, there's old stuff from like Arsenio Hall, like old interviews even before Ace Ventura, where he talks about, "Oh, I'm into this like thrash metal," doing all this stuff. Like he was a fan, like even before this movie. So, no, that was his choice to have Cannibal Corpse in the movie.
Idea. He doesn't strike me as a death metal fan, but then again,
now they have a different lead singer. The lead singer that's in there is not the lead singer anymore. It's this guy George Corpse Grinder, who's been the lead singer for about 25 years now. But
George Corpse Grinder.
Well, I mean, that's his nickname is the Corpse Grinder. But yeah, George, he's got a legendary neck. He's got a huge, thick neck that lets him do the
thick neck.
Oh yeah. Thick neck. Yeah, go look him up. He's got a thick neck. Look up Corpse Grinder's neck.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up here in a second, but let me first explain to the person who may be watching or listening to this why we're talking about death metal. We're here to celebrate what is known as the 30th anniversary of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, starring Jim Carrey and company. And little did we know that behind the scenes that Jim Carrey is a fan of death metal, and Austin knows all these brilliant fun facts. And if you're just joining us and want to watch the movie along with us, you're more than welcome to do so through what is known as physical media or a streaming service. You can queue it up, share your thoughts about it. Hey, let us know your favorite death metal bands if you have any. Let Austin know. I'm sure he'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Favorite singers, why don't you? Let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Austin, where are we at in this movie?
About 25 and a half minutes or so. We're wrapping up with the tech guy, and we're going to a party.
Looks like it's time for me to get myself a date.
It's a date, yeah.
By the way, Derpy has one more thing to say about professional sports. He says it could be worse. You could be the Detroit Lions that blew their
but at least they made it to the playoffs and made it to the championship game. But we haven't done that since like '99 or something. So
Ouch.
Actually, when we were in the Jaguars beat the shit out of I was at the game where the Jaguars beat the shit out of the Miami Dolphins in Dan Marino's last game when we beat them like 62-7. I was at that game in Jacksonville. I was back in like 98 or 99. I was at that game. And that was Dan Marino's retirement game. And we beat the hell out of him that game.
What a sour note for him to end on.
Yeah, we all felt bad for him because we all gave him, we were all,
Did you give him a standing ovation at the end?
No, he got a standing ovation at the end of the game. He got a nice round of applause when he came out. Obviously, like we all knew, like it was his last season or whatever. So I mean, he got a nice reception. Like we weren't, he didn't get booed or anything. But man, I felt bad, because the Jaguars beat the hell out of him that game.
You mopped the floor with that guy.
Yeah, but that was back when the Jaguars were good in the '90s.
The Jaguars.
Yeah,
they were good in the '90s, but not so much now. And then Derpy Entertainment says, "I'll leave it at that."
Yeah, leave it at that. Yeah, it's depressing.
It is depressing, isn't it? Oh, this is my date. He's a lawyer.
But this is, by the way, another kind of legendary character. Yeah, that's Udo. It's Udo Kier, man. Yeah, he's been in a million movies. Yeah,
but
Udo
what
Kier
else was he in besides Blade?
Oh, he's been in every Uwe Boll movie ever made.
Oh, jeez. Is Uwe Boll even a filmmaker?
But he's in like a million movies where he's always like the Euro villain, like the vaguely European villain. He's been in a million things.
I do remember him from Blade. I do know that.
Yeah, he's in a million movies.
Which is a good movie, by the way, in case anyone hasn't seen Blade.
Yeah.
Got turned the big 2-5 last year. That was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Celebrated that. That was a lot of fun. Love that movie. Good comic book movie, too, if you're not familiar with Blade. Oh, look, honey. There's the hors d'oeuvres. This is Ace. Tom Ace. Tom Ace.
Tom Ace.
Which, by the way, that's a cool name. That's almost as cool as... I mean, that is as cool as Tom Cruise as you're going to get.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think Tom Ace is a brilliant name. Would you just keep him occupied? One more magic, please. Does he say the word moisty? Is that what he says?
I don't know what he says. Yeah.
Oh, he says smushy, isn't it?
Smushy.
Okay. I thought he said
I
moisty.
I always like that little bit where he would walk by the cello player and just yanks his arm.
He doesn't even care. Like the guy just keeps on playing. He doesn't care. He's like,
Need to use the
excuse me,
bathroom.
Ron. I need
to use the
bathroom. It's a bad day. Sure, it's over there.
Stuff probably looks better on the way out, doesn't it?
Yeah. By the way, how can a rich guy like this only
Yeah.
let one person use that bathroom when you could have like 5 bathrooms in that house?
Yeah. So yeah, does everybody?
I
I
don't
don't know.
get
This
that.
bathroom looks pretty big though. Does it look like it have it probably has multiple things in there,
Yeah, but
doesn't
like,
it?
well, hold on a second. He goes into the door. You see the towels.
It's
see
a
the
double
table.
vanity. We don't see the other side. See if there's multiple stalls or multiple
There may be
urinals.
1 or 2 stalls in there, but I'm thinking, why can't you just get another like 5 other bathrooms for people to use?
Yeah, this is a pretty decent sized bathroom though. So
Yeah,
it might
look at
have
this.
multiple
Oh, there's
ones.
the toilet right there. He just steps all over it.
Yeah.
So never mind. One person can use it at a time. Well, you should have had 5 more bathrooms so other people can use them.
Yeah, if you're gonna have like 200 people in your house at a time,
Yeah, that's
but
ridiculous. For him to have
yeah.
one bathroom with 200 people there, that's ridiculous, man. Honestly.
No, I always thought this whole sequence was funny, like just the
Mission
Mission Impossible
Impossible.
music. Yeah, and he does this whole like gate thing just to the door's right there, just to walk to it.
It's just like, wait a minute, let me pull off some Mission Impossible stuff here. And
Builds
it's funny
himself
because
against the
2 years
wall.
later, we would get the first Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, yeah. So
Maybe
you had
this
to
was a
be you had to be familiar with the '60s TV series to know
Yeah.
that TV
I
thing.
didn't know what it was at the time.
It was a pretty legendary TV theme though, because I had like TV theme song CDs like well before
Oh, really?
the internet. Yeah, I used to have like TV theme show CDs I would listen to
Jeez.
that were pretty cool. You get them at like the Dollar Tree and shit. Yeah.
Oh. I had the NBC TV show soundtrack. I had
Mm.
that album. I had that one album. I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
songs from the 60s, 70s, and 90s, whatever it was. That was a good
Now,
album.
here's the thing. I haven't been able to confirm this, but boy, does this thing when he encounters the shark here,
It's a giant tank.
doesn't it look like the animatronic from Jaws or like Universal Studios or something? I wonder if they used one of
Uh,
those. It looks like one of those, like or like maybe the animatronic from the
Maybe.
Jaws ride or something from like Universal. It looks
Jaws.
like it, but I can't
you-
confirm that.
Have you been on the Jaws ride at Universal?
Oh, I used to go in all the time. I had a season pass to Universal, and I used to go down to Orlando constantly. Yeah, I knew all the words to the tour guide's script. I could tell you the whole script of that thing. Yeah, I got a little snack for you.
Here, Snowflake. Here, Snowflake. I got a little snack for you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the size of that shark, man. Almost
Yeah,
like
right?
a precursor to that movie we watched. Do you remember Deep Blue Sea?
Oh yeah, no, it looks like Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah, it does. Which, wait a minute. That movie turns. Is it
25.
25 this year?
It's
I think it is.
1999, brother. Oh yeah.
Oh, we might have to throw a party for that one.
And here's a little weird connection. Rennie Harlan, who directed Deep Blue Sea, directed Cliffhanger, which is parodied in the opening scene of Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls,
Yep. I do remember that. I
with
do remember
the raccoon. Yeah.
I didn't see Cliffhanger until many years later, but I finally saw it. It's decent. It's all right. It's good. It's not
Yeah.
great, but it's
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah.
It's not one of my all-time favorite Stallone movies, but it's fine.
No, it's a good Stallone movie though. Yeah, it's good.
I
That
wouldn't
same
put it in.
year,
I wouldn't put it in my top 5 though.
that same year around the same time though came one of my favorites, which was Demolition Man. I love Demolition Man.
I like the verbal morality statute of Demolition Man. That's the best part.
Yep.
He gets how many of those things? Like 12 or 15.
Oh, he
well,
grabs.
Wesley
Thanks a
Snipes
lot, you
gets like
shit
100.
bag.
Wesley Snipes gets like a handful, and then Stallone gets like 15 of them to use them as toilet paper.
Mm-hmm.
So much for the seashells. See you in a few minutes.
Mm.
Do not go in there. Woo! I mean, he must have been in that bathroom for like, well, not the bathroom, but like the overall thing of it.
Yeah.
Probably like what, 30, 45 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
Just have a son, Mr. Ace. Have the plumbing checked immediately. Be sure that you do. If I've been drinking out of the toilet,
So I
I
might have been killed.
Tom Ace. Tom Ace. Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Camp. Looking at his ring. What are you doing?
Well,
I'm
see,
sorry.
now it might have been Udo Kier in the opening, like looking over the thing.
Oh
with the
yeah.
ring, but he didn't actually physically grab him out of the tank or whatever, but it could have been.
Eh.
I don't know if they ever fully explained who was there, but they
No, they
just,
never did.
yeah.
It's left up to the imagination, whoever it is. I don't know. Whatever.
Mhm.
And it's not a pebble; it's a rare triangular cut orange amber.
Mhm.
What are you talking about? Tonight I saw the exact same stone in Camp's ring. I thought you said Camp didn't do it. No, Camp's clean. His ring wasn't missing a stone, but whoever was in that tank had a ring just like his.
We're completely ignoring how ridiculously sexy Courtney Cox looks in that dress, by the way.
Yeah, she looks fantastic, by the way. Courtney Cox, if
Ridiculous.
you're watching this, you look beautiful in this movie. I'm
Yes.
just saying.
Hmm.
And that dress is very becoming.
And I love you, Courtney Cox, but lay off the plastic surgery.
Wait a minute, has it been actually reported that she's had that?
All you have to do is watch Scream 3 and then watch Scream 4 right afterwards and see what she's done to herself. Yes.
Oh,
Lip
was that?
injections. Yeah.
I've seen the first 4 movies. So
Suction.
was there
Yeah.
that big of a difference?
Yeah. It's very noticeable if you watch 3 and 4
All right,
back to back.
I'll look at
you'll
clips. I'll have to look at clips of Scream 3 and then compare
Yeah.
them to Scream 4, brother.
notice.
Because
I love
I have Scream 1 and 4 on Blu-ray
this.
and DVD.
This montage is awesome. All the different ways he's trying to get the ring.
And the music is good too.
Yeah. And line up.
Running down the track. He's running down the track. He can't keep up.
Line up.
Uh,
How the hell did he get in that mailbox?
I know, honestly, how on earth could he even get
Now,
in
I think there's a latch, like a door on the back, but you need like a special mailman key to get in there. I don't know how he got that. But hey, he's a pet detective. I'm sure he has his ways.
And the birds are messing up as if all up in his face. Oh, look, it's an over-the-top scene
Yeah.
from the Stallone movie that I've yet to
But
see.
if you got to be over the top, you got to turn your hat backwards.
Turn your hat back.
Well, that's what he does in that movie to psych himself up. He turns his baseball cap backwards, and that gives him superpowers.
I haven't seen Over the Top yet, so
It was one of Canon Films' last movies because they spent all their studio budget on that movie and Superman 4 and then went out of business, and Master of the Universe, and then went out of business. So because they gave Stallone like $20 million for that movie, and that was like half of what their studio was worth, and depending on it to be a hit, and it wasn't.
Well, and Brian is here. He says Cameron Diaz is very boiling hot in The Mask. Yes, she is.
No, he's doing the boing, the Beavis and Butthead thing.
Oh, sorry.
But no, she has one. No,
misunderstood that.
Cameron Diaz has one of the legendary,
Debuts in film.
Yeah, debuts in film in The Mask. Yeah, she looks incredible in that.
Which
movie.
is later this year, if I remember.
So
correctly.
yeah, 3 incredibly attractive leading ladies in the 3 Jim Carrey 1994 movies with Courtney Cox, Lauren Holly, and Cameron Diaz.
Cameron
Sure.
Diaz.
Oh yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Brian pulling a Beavis and Butthead there. That's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
When all else fails, Ryan, bring the ether.
Well, for this particular scene, yes.
Yes.
For what's going on the field or the track, excuse me.
Yeah.
What's it called? Track and field, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That smells like ether. Get out of here. For those of you wondering what the Bantha fodder is going on, this is the 30th anniversary celebration watch-along, I should say, of Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, starring the one and only Jim Carrey. If you want to watch the movie along with us, you're more than welcome to do so through a physical media or streaming service. Watch the movie along with us. Share your thoughts. Share your feelings. Ask us questions. Share your favorite death and metal band so you can appease Austin here, who's a big fan of something I didn't know he was a fan of. More than happy to hear from you. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. Austin, where are we at?
Oh, see, that reminds me. I should have put on my Cannibal Corpse shirt for this show because that would have tied into the movie. I was like, I don't have an Ace Ventura shirt, but I do have a Cannibal Corpse shirt. I could go throw that on real quick. If you give me 2 minutes and go find it.
Before you step away from the studio to pay your sponsorships and commercial breaks, where are we at?
Yes, we're at 37:15. Hold on, let me go find one of my shirts. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. No problem. We'll let Austin have a moment here. He's got to collect himself. All good. But we hope you are enjoying this presentation of what is known as Ace Ventura Pet Detective. Its 30th anniversary, starring Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, among many others. He's bad, died, isolated environment. It's amazing he's still alive. You know, you're just mad because your stupid little pebble theory didn't work out, and you don't know how to express your anger. Yeah, and you're ugly. You know, I'm not even going to talk to you. Would you please leave? Why? So you can feed him? Or so you can feed him? Sorry. Oh, my Lord. Having too much fun here. By the way, quick sidebar here is we're going to continue to be talking about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective and these fun facts that Austin just seems to really enjoy bringing up during the course of these shows. I started watching this TV series. It was on many, many years ago. It doesn't have, I don't think it has any of the Ace Ventura actors in it, but I started watching Everwood recently. It's a good show. I'm starting to really dig Everwood. I'm about 4 episodes into season 1. I'm liking it so far. Anyone else an Everwood fan? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat. Be curious to hear your thoughts. But yes, this movie's a lot of fun to watch. Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, more specifically. Let's see. He's got a shirt on.
Boom!
So
there we
there
go.
it is.
Hey, see, I told you I was not lying. I'm a fan.
You came prepared for this presentation.
Yes, so that's my tie-in to the movie. There we go. Cannibal Corpse.
Cannibal Corpse.
Featured in Ace Ventura.
And then everybody.
Well, and the song they are playing, if you'd like to look it up on Spotify, is a song called "Hammer Smashed Face." It's a great song.
Hammer Smashed Face. What a beautiful title for a song.
Oh, there's much worse titles that they have that I won't mention here.
No, not on this show.
But for free to go if you want to read something interesting. Yes, go on Spotify, look up Cannibal Corpse, and look up the track listings for their various CDs. And yeah, there's some really interesting titles.
Oh, the track listings for this on Spotify. Okay,
Yes.
gotcha. Spotify. Well, good thing I have a Spotify. Well, most people do, but yes, Spotify account. If you have a Spotify account, we can look it up.
Yes.
But fair enough. But yes, by the way, for those of you who are also wondering, are we going to be doing any more movie watch-alongs later this year? Absolutely, we are. We got plans for many, many, many of them. We got The Matrix is next weekend. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be 25th anniversary. We're going to have our good friends Case and Jen joining us for that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I'll be there.
Well, we got Jen and Case on that. So, I mean,
oh, come on. It's like a top 20 favorite movie. I'm the one who told you to put on the scale. I sent you the damn Matrix DVD. How dare you not have me on that show?
we can add you to the IT.
How dare you not? I'm the one who sent you those DVDs.
You can be on. No, you can be on. You can be on.
We'll get I shipped you those from Amazon. I bought them for you.
And you're not gonna have me on completely understand. I completely understand. We can definitely adjust. We can get a 4-person panel on here. It's not a problem. It's not a big deal. But yes, Austin, you can be on with Case, our friend Jen, and myself. You can be on with us. So it will be the Fantastic Four. How does that sound?
Yes, yes.
All right. So I will talk to our producers, make sure we have a 4-person stage for that presentation, and it'll be a lot of fun because you're going to be in on it. So
yeah.
It's The Matrix, right?
You're going to be watching the DVD I sent. You're going to be watching the DVD I sent you, so you better. Did you lose that out of your head?
No, it's all good. It's all good. We can have 4 people on this panel. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Austin,
you know that set that was cheaper than the original DVD. I sent you the 4 movie set.
It was.
So now you own
was
Reloaded and Revolutions and the Animatrix.
Animatrix, which apparently Case is a fan of that. So
yeah.
Which I haven't seen. By the way, I'm going to watch both of those movies, The Matrix and The Animatrix, later this week to get prepared for next week's presentation. So don't worry, Case. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And then I'll text you my note. Well, I can actually tell you my feelings about the movie when we dive into the green room next weekend. And all that jazz. But yes, it's going to be Austin. It's going to be Case. It's going to be myself. And our good friend Jen from the Nerdy Cantina is going to be with us celebrating the 25th anniversary of what is known as The Matrix on, I believe that's Sunday, February the 11th. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And then
we're also
2
going
weeks
to be doing
after that will be Lion King, right?
Lion King, yeah, a few weeks from now, actually. That'll be a few weeks from now, but yes. The Lion King turns 30. Thank you very much. We're also going to be doing one later in the year for Speed. We're going to be doing one for Back to the Future Part 2 and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. I mean, it's a long list.
Oh, yeah. Well, there were some good years, 94 and 99 and 84.
84. We got one for Terminator. Terminator turns 40.
Ghostbusters
turns 40. We'll be on for that one. Yeah. Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, I love OG Terminator. That's another one of my top 20 or 30 favorites.
Yeah, but you like Nightmare on Elm Street too, don't you?
Oh, no, the original Nightmare on Elm Street is great. I like Dream Warriors is the better movie overall, but Nightmare on Elm Street is great. Yeah, no, for sure.
Okay, because that turns 40. So.
Oh yeah, totally.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Austin will be there.
If it's horror, it's got to be me.
Well, you're the horror fan, so.
Oh yeah, no, of course, but
you got to be on for Ghostbusters. You have to be on for what's the other one we mentioned?
Terminator.
You got to be on for that.
Because I'm one of those weirdos who prefers Terminator over Terminator 2. So
same here. Yeah. So Austin and I will be here for that. But by the way, if there's a movie that you feel we should be celebrating later this year, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We don't
let us know so I have plenty of time to send it to Ryan and he can forget to put me on the panel.
Listen, Austin, I do apologize about that, but you will be on the show.
No,
You're
I'm messing with you. But no, we're doing another one of my top 10 favorites of all time. That's right, The Mummy from '99. We're gonna do that. Yes,
the
which
Brendan
is awesome.
Fraser film.
Yes, The Mummy, one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time. Love that movie.
That'll be later this year, I believe. That'll be in the summertime, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, late summer, something like that. Yeah,
is it July, August, something?
Something like that. Whatever it was. Yeah.
But the schedule we will be posting our links and the information about our upcoming watch-alongs when they become available. And when they do, please make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you follow us on social media. Feel free to follow Austin on his social media. Keep up to date with everything that we're doing, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to this incredible season known as Movie Watch Along, and we've barely scratched the surface, which is insane. Can't believe we're already in February, though. So, hey,
stream, Ryan, keep gaining on me.
By the way, Brian continues to say Jim Carrey's '94 film spawned TV series, the animated series of The Mask, as well as Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Yeah, they both had short-lived animated series. Rob Paulsen, who often voiced Jim Carrey stuff, did the voice of The Mask in the Mask animated show. Rob Paulsen, who has a podcast called Talking Tunes, and he goes to a lot of conventions. Because Rob Paulsen also was the voice of Wacko from Animaniacs. He was a Pinky from Pinky and the Brain. He was the original Raphael from the Ninja Turtles.
Yes,
all that stuff. Yeah. So
I met Rob Paulsen once. Very kind gentleman.
Yeah, good dude. All those voice guys are awesome because if you they always have tiers on their table where they'll do like videos or audio things for you if you pay them, drop little
voice recordings,
recordings or voice notes or whatever you want. Yeah, whatever you want to do. So that's always cool.
By the way, Brian says, what fantastic four member does that make Austin for next week's presentation of The Matrix? I don't know. But Austin will be there.
Well, you're tall and stuff, so you're probably Mr. Fantastic, and you're the leader, so that you're Mr. Fantastic, right?
Fine.
Well, I mean, it's your channel.
No,
you're the leader.
I am tall. I am like that shape. So
Case is, probably Johnny Storm. Jen will be, obviously Sue Storm, and I'll be the Thing,
which is Ben Grimm's character.
I'll be Ben Grimm, the Thing, because I'll also be the heaviest out of all of us. I'll be Ben Grimm.
When we talk about the Matrix next week. Oh gosh! By the way, Brian has a suggestion for the panel. He says you should add Jacob Barber to the Lion King watch along when it comes up. He loves that movie.
I did suggest that to Ryan because that is one of his favorite movies of all time. So we'll see.
I will have to reach out to that individual when the time arises because that's in a couple of weeks. It's not next week. Because next week we have the Matrix.
That's like the last Sunday of the month, whatever that is, the 28th or whatever.
Yeah, that's like later in the month, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I will reach out to who is it? Jacob Barber. I'll have to make a note of that.
Yeah, my buddy Jacob Barber over on a podcast about movies, which you can find on the Movie Hero Network.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy with a motive, baby. Where is he now? Who the hell is that? It's Ray Finkel the Kinker. Don't you know who Ray Finkel is? No. How come he's not in this picture? He wasn't added to the roster till mid-season. And that's another thing I learned about sports. I didn't know people could be added to rosters midway through the season until I saw this movie.
Yeah, trades. Yeah.
Trades, yes. Excuse me. That happens a lot in football, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. What do you suggest?
You should be alone right now. You may not be safe at your apartment. Well, what do you suggest? But I didn't know who sang this song until I looked it up on Instagram when I was posting about this show today. It's the Tokens.
The Tokens, okay. Yeah, all these animals in the background of of this racy scene, we all had like
leashes,
basically like leashes on, that they kind of like airbrushed out of the scene because they all had to be like sitting there in very specific places and not running around everywhere. So
could you say they got agitated when they were filming?
But I just want to bring this up. Ace Ventura's apartment has to smell awful though, because
with all these animals living
with
around?
all the animals, because like even if you try to be as clean as you can, there's a smell when like anytime you go to somebody's house and they just have a bunch of dogs or a bunch of cats or whatever, a bunch of animals. I had a friend who just had one ferret, a neighbor, and the house smelled awful just because of that one ferret just being around. Like it was just, it's weird. So it's it has to smell pretty awful actually.
So I guess he should be using lots and lots of cans of air freshener, I guess.
Yeah, you better be doing something because even just animals just being around like that, there's a smell.
I didn't know what the character of Melissa Robinson meant when she said 3 times. I'm sorry, that's never happened to me before. I must be tired. I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Years later when you figure out what that actually means, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, dude,
Right.
seriously?
You know how exhausting that would be, by the way, for him to have to keep his head out on the side window the whole time. He would definitely get pulled over by cops because cops will pull you over if you just have like one crack on the driver's side of your windshield, much less a completely obliterated windshield. Like they would definitely pull you over.
Gosh. That's a good point. And he never gets the car fixed at all because he
Yeah.
actually said in the very beginning of the movie, he says, well, there's a lot of damage to my car. It's a high performance machine, so I had to fill it with premium gasoline.
I'm looking for Ray Finkel and a clean pair of shorts.
He gets the
That's
shotgun.
that's one of my
He gets-
favorite lines in the movie. And a clean pair of shorts.
What do you know about Ray
Ray
Finkel?
Finkel. The
Okay.
Ray Finkel's mom in this scene has been in a bunch of movies too. She's been in a bunch of stuff.
Was she the librarian in Ghostbusters?
I think so. Yeah, Alice Drummond.
Was she
Yeah,
in
she's the librarian in the beginning of Ghostbusters. So we'll see her in Ghostbusters.
My uncle thought he
later
was
in there.
Saint Jerome. I'd say that's a big yes. You remember
Yes.
that?
Yeah,
Dude, she was a librarian in the opening scene of Ghostbusters. That's awesome.
she sure is. Yeah.
What else was she? She's been in a lot of stuff, actually.
Yeah, she's on TV a lot. She always shows up in different like sitcoms and stuff.
Do you know of any sitcoms she was on?
I was just looking it up. I was trying to find it. She was on episodes of Grace Under Fire. She's on Law and Order. She's been on Friends. She's been on the Cosby Show. She's been on a million things. So
Well, they keep it in the family over there at NBC, don't they?
Yeah. I'm trying to look up and see the because the dad kind of looks familiar too. I was looking at Mr. Finkel. It's Bill Zuckert, who's he was on the original Star Trek back in '66.
Wow.
Dude's been around. So there you go.
There's a connection.
It's a third man who's been in Naked Gun 33 and a third. There's 3 people from this movie who are also in Naked Gun 33 and a third the same year. That's weird. Oh, and what do you know? He was also on Walker, Texas Ranger for an episode, Ryan. That's the game you play.
Man, it always comes back.
We're on Walker, Texas Ranger.
It always comes back to Walker, Texas Ranger on this thing, man.
Yeah, sure is. Don't they have a new Walker going right now? There's like a new version.
Yeah,
of
with
TV?
Jared Padalecki from Supernatural and
That's
Lindsay
right.
Morgan. From
Yeah,
The
we talked
100.
about that.
But
That's right. Yeah.
I watched a handful of episodes and I just couldn't get into it. It's like it's so tame. It's nowhere near as I mean, granted, the original one was silly and family friendly, but this one, like they're trying to take it in a bit of a deeper, darker direction, but at the same time, they're not trying hard enough because the main character, by the way, which is Jared Padalecki, who plays this iteration of Walker, he's what's the word? He's disconnected from his kids, he's disconnected from his family, and then he's trying to rebuild that relationship, which I don't mind that, by the way. I don't mind a family dynamic on any show, but there's hardly any action scenes, and when they are, they're so cheesy and overblown. It's like, yeah, he throws a guy into the front of the car on the hood, and then he just puts cuffs on. I'm like, come on, man, that's lame. That's it. I don't know. The show just didn't work. I mean, it's still going, so clearly the money or the ratings or whatever it is are there. But
by the way, it won't be our only Ghostbusters connection as well. Can you remember the other one coming up from Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters, the first one, or are we talking about this?
Both of them. Both.
Let me see.
It's another actor coming up here pretty soon.
Oh, the mayor.
The mayor is the doctor at the mental institute.
Shady Acres. Shady
Acres.
Acres.
David Margulies, is the mayor in Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters.
In both of them, yeah, that's
right.
Yep.
So not only Ghostbusters connection along with the librarian.
What do you mean biblical? Wrath of God types of dead rise from the grave, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
But if we're right and we can't stop this thing, then you will have saved the lives of millions of registered voters.
It's great, isn't it? Oh, there's some good lines in that movie, which we'll be talking about a little bit later on this year in 2024, respectively. Look at this room, by the way. The room is just decked out.
He kept all this stuff. Yeah, it's
destroying Dan Marino's life, destroying his
career.
No,
the Dolphins. I feel like this is a bit of an overreaction from the TV. The Dolphins lose. The Dolphins lose. The Dolphins lose. Oh no!
Ace, where are you? I'm in Psychoville. Finkel's the mayor. Where's Dan Marino? Because he's about to join Snowflake. I've got to know where he is. He had a practice, and then he has a commercial shoot at the Bogart Soundstage, which is another way of saying Humphrey Bogart Soundstage in Miami, Florida. Ace, what's going
I
on?
thought I left you, didn't I?
Thought I left, didn't you?
Okay, I'm really gonna go this time.
Okay, I'm really gonna go this time. By the way, for those of you wondering what's going on here, we're going off on different tangents featuring different actors and character actors from different properties, I should say. This is the 30th anniversary celebration watch along of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, starring the one and only Jim Carrey, Courtney Cox, and who the fuck, an NFL player by the name of Dan Marino,
Dan Marino, who
and
just showed
many
up. Yeah.
yeah, who just showed up, among many others. And if you want to watch this movie along with us on what is known as physical media or a streaming service, you're more than welcome to do so. Share your favorite thoughts, share your favorite Jim Carrey movies, share your favorite death metal bands to appease Austin. Let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat. Don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. And if you're watching this on what is known as live or on the replay, we thank you for being with us. And Austin, where are we at in the film?
Yeah, we're about 53 and a half minutes. The goons just jacked Dan Marino right out of the commercial there. They ran up with him with him and his isotoners right out of the studio. Yeah. And he just ran up the cops. Excuse me, fellas. Pet detective.
Those are cops. Like, you're not supposed to do that, but
yeah.
hey, he can get away with it. Excuse me, gentlemen. By the way, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for? What brand of shades he's wearing, but those are cool looking shades, man.
Yeah.
They're definitely not Ray-Bans.
No. I'm sure somebody knows I'm sure there's a trivia section on IMDb that somebody says it.
I'm wondering what kind of glasses those are, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, his car is completely demolished.
Yeah, I know.
It still keeps going when it flips over.
Going. Tough little car.
Flips over, does it.
By the way, Dan Marino has played himself in like 6 different movies.
Really?
Several different things. Yeah, he was also in Holy Man with Eddie Murphy. He was in Little Nicky, uncredited. The Adam Sandler movie. He's briefly in Bad Boys 2. Yeah, he's done a couple of things. He did a voice on the Magic School Bus, apparently. So,
wow.
Yeah.
By the way, our friend Michelle is here. She says, "Hi, Ryan. Michelle, good to see you. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods, respectively." And she also goes on to say, that movie is hilariously hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're talking about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective or maybe something else, but we
tonight on Miami Vice, Crockett gets the bus a coffee.
Speaking of Miami, Florida, that was a very popular show in the 80s.
It sure was.
Great music on that show, man. They paid top dollar for that music.
And a just okay Michael Mann movie from 2006.
Yeah, the movie wasn't that good. No,
it's okay.
It's not very good. Sorry, Michael Mann. That was a bad day for you with that movie, in my opinion, anyway. And then Michelle says, "Yes, I'm referring to Ace Ventura: Pet Detective being hilarious."
Yeah, of course.
Well, we appreciate that, Michelle. We hope you're enjoying this feature presentation. By the way, Sean Young, talk about an actress who's had a very unorthodox career in Hollywood. She was in Blade Runner. She was in Ace Ventura. She was in Fatal Instinct, which is a parody off of Basic Instinct, among many other movies. It was a spoof film.
She was in the OG Dune from '84.
That I didn't know because I haven't seen the original Dune.
It's not very good. It's boring.
It's boring, so I guess I should skip it.
Yeah, if you want to, I think some theaters are showing it for the 40th anniversary before this new one comes out. But I will not be attending that because I do not like that movie, that original movie.
That original movie. Okay, well,
yeah, no, I haven't watched Dune Part 1 yet. I'm going to watch it before I watch Dune Part 2 here in a couple of weeks. So I just waited. I figured I'd wait till the new one is like a week away and then watch it, so I can then just go to the theater and watch Part 2.
Going fresh.
Yeah, just gonna have it fresh on my mind.
Fresh on your mind. But yeah, Sean Young has had a very unorthodox career. She's been in some movies. Some have been successful. Most have not. And the other thing about her is she campaigned very hard, as we talked about earlier in this program, about being the character of Catwoman in Batman Returns, which was directed by Tim Burton. She actually campaigned to be Catwoman in the first movie, too.
Yeah.
For Tim Burton. She lobbied for it. She was passionate about it. And listen, I don't mind actors or actresses being passionate about going after a part, but she took it to very strange, maybe not strange, but just a little bit too much and over the top levels. So much so that after this movie and a few other of her movies came out in the 90s, respectively, she was basically just tossed aside from Hollywood. They kind of blacklisted her. They didn't want to work with her. She's very difficult to work. I've heard some not so good stories about working with her, whether it be on set or off set. Sean Young has had a very unfortunate career being an actress. I mean, look, Lois Einhorn, this movie is fine. Like she plays the role very well, and she has some funny scenes in this movie. I'm not going to lie, but at the same time, she's not had a very good career. So
Yeah, she's constantly worked, but it's been very low budget, kind of direct to video
direct to
stuff most of the
video.
time. Yeah, I mean, she's always working, and she did show up briefly in Blade Runner 2049, but
I
um,
think that was digitally. I don't think that was
yeah,
actually.
it wasn't like an official. It's kind of like how they credited Edward Furlong for Terminator: Dark Fate, but he wasn't actually really in it, but kind of. Yeah, it's one of those things. Sort of like Tony Todd at the very end of the most recent Candyman.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And Michelle goes on to say a little too much next level. I mean,
Mm.
for Sean Young to take certain liberties with what she did, yeah,
No,
it's
you can if you're curious about it, you can look up Tim Burton, Sean Young on YouTube, and it's a
yeah.
thing
There's a
from
story.
the Batman like Blu-ray where he talks about her auditioning, sort of, for
With the
pretty
cat
legendary
suit and
story
the
with the
bed.
cat suit. Yeah, so you can hear it from him. But by the way, this place is called Shady Acres, which is a tribute to the director Tom Shadyac, who directed this
Oh,
movie, Shady Acres, who went on to direct Jim in Liar Liar and Bruce Almighty. And
there
then
you go.
also directed Eddie Murphy in the Nutty Professor remake, which I like as well.
Oh yeah, that was another '90s film. That was
Yeah,
'96, if I remember correctly.
yeah. So dude was working. He made some
Busy.
movies that are still around. Yeah. Uh, no, me and my friends always used to imitate this. Let's see that. Let's see that. It is a replay.
So, who is it that you like to take us that you would like us to take a look at? My brother, Larry.
Larry.
It's like you couldn't think of a better. Larry,
Yeah.
Moe, and Curly,
Mhm.
and Shady Acres. You're right. It's a play on words of Tom
Shadyac.
Shadyac. I was not
Yeah.
aware of that, but there you go.
Let's
Makes
see
total
that. It
sense.
is a replay.
And by the way, this scene that's about to come up here in a moment on this movie, this has been used as a meme and a GIF of him dancing with the
Oh yeah,
patients
yeah,
in
the
the
little
courtyard.
yeah, little
And
celebration dance.
look who it is. It's the mayor of New York from
I know,
Ghostbusters 1 and 2. How about that?
yeah, David Margulies. Yeah, he's another. Yeah, I mean, this movie just chock full of
Character
what we like to call that guy, those
actors. That
guys.
guy actors.
Yeah, that guy, character actors. There's a documentary called "I Know That Guy,"
Oh,
which is
really?
all about character actors. Yeah, there's a voice actor one as well called "I Know That Voice" about voice actors. You haven't seen it? Two good little documentaries.
I should look those up. You should send those over
I
to
think
me.
you would like the voice actor one. Yeah, it's called "I Know That Voice," and Rob Paulson, who we just talked about, is in there prominently, along with many other people. But yeah, it's all about kind of the history of voice actors with a bunch of voice actor people in it. So I think you'd like it. Good stuff.
What's the word I'm looking for? I was unaware of that. Michelle goes on to say Shadyac. So that's how you pronounce that name. I thought it was Shadyak.
Shadyac. I don't know exactly, but I just know the Shady Acres thing is
Named after
is
the
a name
director.
off Tom Shadyac, however you say it.
And then,
Who I think lived outside of Jacksonville, I think, for a while, because I think he's
oh,
retired now. But yeah, I think.
Jackson.
Don't quote me on that. Yeah,
It's interesting. Then Michelle goes on to say the tutu dance. Yeah, we just passed that scene, but
yeah,
yes,
the
it's
tutu
funny.
dance.
Like,
Yes.
he's just going
Yeah.
around going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And he smashes his head on that bench. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many moments when I was watching this, especially as a kid, where I was just laughing at almost every scene. Oh my gosh, how does he do this? His physical comedy is ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you get into a door. You just take the private sign off the door and just jiggle it. You just jiggle it.
Good to know. Yeah.
Turns on the lights. This is our storage room facility, or storage room, I should say. Oh, the aisles have letters in between them. Okay, now I see. Because I'm thinking, how do they even? Oh, it's labeled by letters. I got it.
Yeah.
Bubble wrap. He thinks,
Bubble wrap.
someone's trying to shoot at me. No, it's not. Looks for the box. Oh, look, there's the F section. Look for Ray Finkel. Where's his box?
Yeah, of like unclaimed baggage.
Finkel.
Isotoners. Yeah.
Isotoners. I had no idea what those were until I saw this.
Yeah.
Isotoner gloves. Die, Dan, die.
Mm-hmm.
He has a journal.
Yeah.
And it's the same two words over and over and over and over and
Laces
over again.
out, die, Dan. Laces out, die, Dan.
It's laces
This
out, laces
much?
out. Obsess match. Michelle says, boxes, boxes, boxes. Yeah, well, thank you for the emojis, Michelle. Appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying this presentation. Good Lord. He's extremely lucky that those two dudes didn't walk in on him.
Yeah.
Like, extremely lucky.
Mm-hmm.
They just happen to be having an argument midway through the door. He's like, man, you're a pain in the ass. Let me go
You're
talk.
a pain in the ass.
Cracks open the box. I'm surprised they didn't hear that either. The box breaking and him, like, placing himself on the
He
floor.
had closed the door by then, you know. Well, they were busy yelling at each other, you know, very loudly, having a nice
look at this. Is
argument
that a
about what he's supposed to
newspaper?
be doing.
That's a
Yep.
newspaper article he just found.
Search called off for missing hiker.
A rescue search ended today when rescue workers were unable to find the body of Lois Einhorn.
Here's a fun thing to do, Ryan, in some of these movies. When they show like a full article in movies, pause it and read it and see if it actually has more stuff than the actual initial paragraph, because sometimes it'll just say gibberish, you know, from then on, just like nonsense from that. And sometimes they'll actually write an article, but the lazy movies will not write beyond the first paragraph. It'll just be just nonsense words over and over again. I've done that a few times.
By the way, Michelle goes on to say, I'm loving it. I haven't watched one of these movie watch-alongs in a long time. Well,
yeah,
we're happy that you're here with us, and the other people who are watching us, we're thankful that you are here as well. She says, I call it a PETA pain in the arse. That's her way of cursing without actually cursing. She says, I've done that. I stop and read the articles.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well,
There
just
you go.
again to see if like they were lazy and they actually wrote a full article, or if they, you know, stopped and just started scribbling nonsense. Yeah, after the first paragraph.
Love Roger.
To do that sometimes.
Love Roger.
Yeah.
By the way, for those of you wondering, we are celebrating what is known as the 30th anniversary of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, starring Jim Carrey and company. If you want to watch the movie along with us on the physical media or what is known as a streaming service, please do so. And you can comment along. You can share your favorite thoughts, your feelings, favorite Jim Carrey movies, maybe some of your favorite lines, favorite bands, favorite death metal bands, because apparently Austin likes death metal, which is disturbing. But let us know in the comments.
Hey,
let us know in the chat. I'm kidding.
I take umbrage with that. There's some of the nicest people you'll ever meet go to death metal concerts.
That's
swear to
I've
God.
heard those stories.
You know why? Because we get all our aggression out at the shows, and we're very, very nice in between songs.
Right. But yes, feel free to queue up your copy on a physical media or streaming service. And don't forget to like and share this with everyone you know. If you're watching this live or on the replay, thank you for being here. Austin, where are we in the film?
About 105 and a half. Jim Carrey's racking his brain trying to figure out Finkel and Finkel.
Michelle is asking us, where exactly are you watching the movie? Well, I'm watching it on DVD. What streaming services?
It's not free on a streaming service. I had to. I just ended up purchasing it on Vudu. I have the double DVD as well, the old two.
Same here.
Yeah,
I have the double DVD that also includes a third disc with selected episodes from the animated series.
Yeah, I don't think it's free on any platform. I had to get the digital copy on Vudu. So, and most of the ones we've done for previous watch-alongs, I already had on Vudu as like part of my.
She's crying.
Sorry about that. I don't know why. This is a movie that should be streaming somewhere, but it isn't.
Now she goes on to say, well, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to go on Vudu or Amazon or another streaming service, feel free to look it up, buy it, purchase it, whatever you got to do, digitally, of course, and watch the movie along with us. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And yes, it is available on physical media, whether it be DVD. I also think it is available on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it's on Blu-ray. You can get a double Blu-ray of the first two. Yeah.
And then she says, I agree 100%. Well,
no, it should be. Yeah. It's a shame that it's not. But some of these weird movies that are popular, but they don't put them on streaming services.
Einhorn.
Or they just pop up occasionally.
Finkel is Einhorn.
Oh no, Einhorn is a man. That's disgusting. That's one part of the movie that is not aged well over 30 years.
No, there's a lot. The third act of this movie, there's a lot of things that happen that have either have not aged well, or they're inappropriate materials that would not be allowed on motion picture screens today. So just understand that this film was made during a certain point at a certain
product of its time. Yeah, in the 90s when
things were a little bit different. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Well, wait till we get to Blazing.
We condone it, but
wait till we get to Blazing Saddles.
Well, Blazing Saddles was what, the 70s or the 80s?
74.
Oh, it was 74, so it was the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen that movie all the way through.
Blazing Saddles is
I've never seen it all the way through. No,
one of my favorite comedies, of all time.
never
Me and my
seen it.
dad's favorite comedy, yeah. It'll be back in theaters later this year in September.
For its
one of those
50th.
one of those Fathom events for its 50th. So if you get a chance to check it out.
Oh, fathomevents.com for more information.
Yeah.
He's got like 20 sticks of gum in his mouth right now.
Yeah.
Gum is sticking into my hip. Well,
My current favorite gum, by the way, is the Trident gum that is the Sour Patch gum. They're both the red and the blue versions. Pretty good.
No kidding.
Yep.
It's got to be a strain in the Miami team with Dan Marino not being here on the field, Bob.
Well, a happy coincidence that the Super Bowl just happens to be being played in Miami when Dan Marino's on the Miami team, by the way. nice happy coincidence there.
Yeah.
That the Miami just happened to go to the Super Bowl that year, which is a rarity to have the team, where they're actually having the Super Bowl be in the Super Bowl. It's extremely rare. But yeah, and the fact that he gets him out of here and doesn't have to fly him across the country to be in some other city for the Super Bowl. He just drives him right down the road.
Yeah.
Aren't you having fun, Dan? What's the matter, Dan?
Aren't you having fun? I just love
Don't
Super
you,
Bowl
Dan?
Sunday. Don't you, Dan? By the way, Michelle says somebody needs to play this movie on a screen. Well, unfortunately, we can't do that because we want to avoid what is known as copyright. And the other thing is, I mean, I can't do it here, but if I could, I could pull up like a few seconds so you can see where we're at in the film, just out of respect. But we can't really show the movie on our screen here on set because we want to respect the studios and the rights and the copyright. So
the only way you can do that is if you're watching a movie that's either in the public domain and it's free to do that,
which
or
some of those are available on YouTube.
Yeah, and some of them, I mean, you can do it with some things. You can't put it on screen for the full thing. Like even those reaction channels, the people who do movie reactions, they have to be very careful. They can only play it in little chunks of like less than
5 seconds,
5 to 10 seconds, because anything you play over like 20 seconds or so will get flagged by AI bots and copyrights. Yeah.
And we don't want to do that on the show. We want to respect the actors and the studios and the crew. So yeah.
But sorry, we try to at least make our conversation entertaining enough to where it's not all about like us, just
we focus on the movie.
We'll say Batman '89 when we do that one may just be us quoting the entire script left to right. So you won't have to pop it on. You can just watch us reenact the entire movie.
Yeah, it's available to stream on Max, and I'm sure it's available in a few. Actually, I think it's still available to stream on Tubi right now. So
yeah,
you can go stream that movie. Batman '89, to be more specific. I'm not talking about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, even though they're owned by similar studios.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Batman '89 turns, 35 this year? Yeah, Austin and I just may quote all 2 hours of it.
It just may be us. Like we may just decide our roles before the movie starts, and we're just gonna quote back and forth the entire movie.
Which hypothetically we could.
Yeah,
I don't know how the third guest is going to feel about that, but
yeah, right.
Because we are going to get more people in on that one because it is Batman '89. It's a very historic film, so I don't know who the third guest is going to be because that's later on down the line. But when Austin and I are going to be on set, we may just quote the whole gosh darn thing. I don't know.
Yeah, lovely Potter. I wasn't invited.
Kill that dolphin. And then Michelle says, she says it's all about respect with the studio. Yes, we can't show the movie because
well, again, if we were doing something like, let's say, for instance, you're doing Night of the Living Dead, like that movie's public domain, so we could put it on the screen. Yeah, the OG one is public domain.
The Romero movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. That's right, because they didn't file a claim. That's right.
Because they didn't file a copy. So that one is public domain. So you really could put that one on screen and you wouldn't get flagged.
That's a good point.
Stuff like from Plan 9 from Outer Space, the Ed Wood movie is public domain. You can play that.
That's public domain. Yeah. We did a movie. There was a movie a couple years ago. We did I think it was like House on Haunted Hill. It was a black and white with Vincent Price, where that was public domain.
My friend and I, we do drink-alongs over on his thing. It's kind of similar, except we just drink. We play drinking games while we're doing it, but we can't show it on screen. But we did the Room, the Tommy Wiseau movie, and we put it on screen just because we figured Tommy doesn't give a shit. So, and there's a version that's been on YouTube for like 10 years, and nobody's copyrighted it. So we just did that.
By the way, using I don't think it's called an anchor. I think it's called a hook of some kind.
Yeah.
And he just threw those two. That one probably would have killed him like a month.
That probably would have killed him, honestly. That thing might have,
the giant hook that he was using.
Oh yeah.
By the way, Michelle says, remind me when you do that, Ryan. The
Oh
Batman
yeah, the
89 one.
89.
That's later
Yeah.
in the year, so we'll get those links up when we can. And then she says, "Okay, watch Party on that one app." Oh, I see what you're saying. You mean Clubhouse? Well, I don't know if we can do it on Clubhouse, but we can definitely do it here on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, as well as Twitter if you want to join us.
Yeah, just YouTube is real weird about yeah, you can't show like too
Gotta be
much
very
movie stuff on
respectful,
there.
very
Yeah, if
careful.
you show clips like watch any watch along or movie reaction, they have to be careful about how long they play the clips for. You know, it has to be very specific. Can't have a lot of clips of music. Music especially is a big trigger. They'll trigger, soundtracks and things,
They're gonna
scores.
People will get
Yeah, that's the
flagged.
flag. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
have to
she
be
says
careful.
that's a good movie. She was referring to on House on Haunted Hill. She says, "I'm not talking about that app you mentioned earlier. I rarely use that app known as CH." Okay,
Mm.
gotcha. Just making sure. But yes, we have plans for many, many, many more episodes of Movie Watch Along later in the year, and Austin will be here for probably 50 to 60% of them. So
Play a lot of them because you know why I'm available on Sunday afternoons.
yeah, we're here on Sundays normally. I think we do these normally Sundays at 3:30, unless we switch to Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, depending on what the schedule are. But the schedule is, excuse me. But yeah, Sean Young is having way too much fun with that gun right now.
Mhm.
By the way, what model is that? Do you
What's
know what
that?
model that is?
What gun?
Yeah, what she's using.
Oh, she's got a
What is she
just looks like a Smith and Wesson 38, like pretty standard uh uh police gun from
Good
around
to
that
see
time.
somebody who doesn't buckle under the pressure.
Pressure. What would you know
What would
pressure?
you know?
About pressure?
And then we won't get into that, but yes. And then Michelle says, "A-okay. Look forward to your next presentation." Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate it.
The lasers were in. They were in.
I haven't gotten to that part yet.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm anticipating the line. The
Okay, I
lasers
was
were
going to
in.
say,
They
Finkel
were
just
in.
booted it. The lasers were in. They were in. Which, by the way, I haven't done this yet. I don't know how you feel about this, and I don't know how the person who may be watching or
Mhm.
listening to this feels about this. But have you been to a rage room?
Oh, one of those things where you can just break everything in the room.
Bash stuff? Yeah.
I'm familiar with them, but I've never lived in or been to a city that has one. But to me, it's like, yeah, you have to do appointments, right? Because how long does it take to put the room back together or get more props for you to break? Because I imagine it would take a while to put the room back together, right? Because you
It
get what,
does.
5 minutes in there to break stuff. Yeah, and you can just do whatever you want.
Yeah. I'd like to go to
I
a
have a
rage
little
room.
trouble with the lady ace. You
don't understand. Oh, and by the way, Michelle goes on to say, "We appreciate you." Well, thanks, Michelle. We appreciate you too.
Get him, Lois, get him.
And then she says, "I need to go to one of those rage rooms." Well, hey,
Yeah.
check your local listings. That's all I can say.
Hmm.
Check your local listings, find out if there's a rage room facility in your area, and make an appointment. Or get an invite. I don't know. Make a phone call, Michelle. We can do it. I can check my local listings here in North Carolina. I'm sure there's one around here somewhere. Then she goes on to say, 100% I agree. Well, thank you, Michelle. Share them.
He's
And
got
then
the little
Courtney
piece of
Cox,
wood.
and look at Courtney Cox. She walks in.
He's got the little thin piece of wood from the pellet.
It's so Roger Redactor was just about to go Dan Marino than me. Oh, fiction can be fun, but I find the reference section
much more enlightening.
For instance, if you were to look up professional football's all-time bonehead plays, not counting the Jacksonville Jaguars,
Yeah.
you might read about a Miami Dolphin kicker named Ray Finkel, who missed a 26-yard field goal in the closing seconds of Super Bowl 17. What you wouldn't read about is how Ray Finkel lost his mind, committed to a mental hospital, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
I think he's very good at taking a deep breath and explaining stuff.
She's Ray Finkel. She's a man.
She's not Lois Einhorn. He lied. Shut up.
Why is she just standing there? Like, I've never understood that part.
Yeah,
she's standing there, like she beats
what do you
the
think
shit.
she should have done? She should have run behind the guy.
Just she beats the hell out of him for like 2 minutes, and then she just stands here, like I don't know. Yeah, it's weird.
Boy, that's really on there. But tell me this: would so and so be missing these?
That kind of work can be done over the weekend.
Oh, good Lord. Honestly, when it comes to uncomfortability, I wonder how uncomfortable Sean Young felt during this scene.
Probably not that much because Sean Young, somebody's willing
Well,
to dress up in a cat suit and
that's true. But
you
at the
know,
same
run
time,
around
you
the
can't
set.
help but notice that maybe she was uncomfortable, maybe she wasn't. I don't know.
Yeah.
Certain actors have different feelings about shooting certain scenes. That's all I'm saying. Maybe she wasn't nervous. Maybe she didn't care.
Yeah.
She's thinking, I've been in other movies like this. It's fine. I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go excuse me for
Mm-hmm.
just 1 second? And then Dan Marino's giving him a
Ladies and gentlemen,
tip
my
there.
esteemed colleague here, Mr. Where we go? Just brought some evidence to my attention. Now, yeah, no, this has not been the most held up thing in this movie. Especially with the issues of transgendered folks. But again, like we said, it's a 30-year-old movie, and back when gay was a punchline in a lot of movies. It is what it is. Oh, and everybody starts throwing up. So, which implies that they all have made out with a one lieutenant. Even Snowflake to a degree? I don't know. That's weird. Weird cut. I'll be here all week. Tip your waitresses. Oh. Die. It's a nice back body drop from Ace if you're a wrestling fan. I always love in movies where somebody getting thrown into water is like the end of them. It's they just can't come back from being thrown into the water. It's the ultimate death knell. Like they couldn't just get out of the water. Free Willy 2 is notorious for this around the same time, where all the henchmen get like punched into the water, and it's like, oh, can't come back from that. We got thrown into the water. Got the nice convenient police convoy to get Dan back to, like I said, get him back to the stadium where he happens to be playing in the Super Bowl in the same city. Nice and convenient. I don't think that stadium exists anymore, by the way. The one in Miami. I think they have a different stadium now. This one was pretty old. Playing the Eagles. Miami versus Philly.
Yeah. 90s clothing, too. By the way, Michelle says, this has been fun. I got to get going. Well, Michelle, we thank you for being with us. Do really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to go back and watch the replay in case you missed anything.
Mm-hmm.
Those Miami Dolphin cheerleaders look mighty fine.
Yeah, they sure do.
Not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
And look who it is. Dan Marino just walked in. Lucky number 13.
Mm-hmm. I think they retired that number down in Miami when he retired.
I believe, yes, I would venture to say that they did. Yeah.
Call back up. There's the albino pigeon.
Snowflake is back, and he's kicking the ball. He's like,
yeah.
Oh, Courtney Cox is getting it on with Jimmy Boy there, but all of a sudden, Jim sees something that he desperately wants.
Yeah,
it's a true albino pigeon.
Mm-hmm.
Some rich guy lost his over $25,000 reward.
Ooh.
Is he gonna get
that damn eagle. No.
What?
Just cost me 25 grand, Polly.
Polly. You just cost me 25 grand, Polly.
Nice cute, nice music cue to go along with the punches, by the way.
It's great, isn't it? Oh, look at the audience. They can't believe
Look
it.
at Tone Loc macking on the cheerleaders, by the way, because of course he is.
Yeah.
Well, he's putting a little funky cold Medina on him.
To the man who rescued Dan Marino and our beloved Snowflake. And look at Dan Marino. He's like, man. A great humanitarian and a lover of all animals, Mr. Ace Ventura. Get off me. Get off me. As he's punching this guy's lights out. Tone, put that size 13 on and kick it for the homies. Yep.
course, you had to have a Tone Loc song every time he was a part of the movie. He had to be a part of the soundtrack. I think that's
Was he
also
on the
true.
was he on the
I,
Surf
th-
Ninja
I
soundtrack?
believe he's on the Surf Net. Yeah, he's on the Surf Net. They play one of his songs when they're doing the moto surf at the beginning of the movie. Down,
Moto
down, down, down,
Surf.
down, down. What to go to pass? Yeah, no, it's yeah, no, they play one of his songs during the moto surf thing at the beginning. Yeah,
Moto Surf.
moto surf.
Just got to wax the old wave friction reducing vehicle.
That
Surf.
movie is so good. If you have not seen Surf Ninjas, it's awesome. It's
I
on
haven't
YouTube.
seen it in a long time.
It's on YouTube. Somebody
is.
uploaded it. It's still up there. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like the
it's
only
still
place you can
there.
find. I have a DVD of it. I have it on Vudu as well because they do a disc to DVD. It just popped up on that a few weeks ago.
Nice.
So or disc to digital, I mean. And yeah, I love that movie. That movie's great.
Well,
One of Rob Schneider's better performances of the '90s, honestly.
yeah, playing a
funny in that way.
teenager at the age of whatever, and then he throws.
Yeah, at the age of like 30,
he
he's
throws
playing like a
dynamite at a
17-year-old.
guy in a car, and he says, "I got one."
I got one.
Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end credits sequence of what is known as Ace Ventura. Speaking of the 1990s, Pet Detective, starring the one and only Jim Carrey and company. We hope you have enjoyed this celebration / watch along of Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. Austin, what are your final thoughts on this movie on a scale of 1 to 10? What are you going to give it?
By the way, I believe the alternate version is this version they showed on TV sometimes, and mainly what you got with that one is Jim Carrey going on stage with Cannibal Corpse and singing with them and doing some dancing. That's kind of what the extra stuff you get. So if you're a Cannibal Corpse fan, find the extended version, or you can go on YouTube and just find kind of those scenes of him going on stage. And I think that was at his request, but they rightly kind of cut it out of the movie because it just, it doesn't really need to be in there. But yeah, no, Ace Ventura is a lot of fun. I've seen this movie, hundreds of times. Yeah, like I said, with my cable watches and whatnot. Yeah, it still works for the most part. Yeah, the themes at the end of the movie maybe don't hold up as well 30 years later, but it's still a very funny performance and very good stuff. I'll go 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah, and real quick, one of the other scenes that is different here on this version than it is on the VHS version is the scene where he's in the tank doing the whole Star Trek thing. But after that, when the reporters are trying to get an interview with Snowflake or get footage, he imitates a overseas trainer and he wards off the reporters. And that scene was cut from the DVD release of the movie, but you can find it on the VHS version. You can also find the deleted scene or alternate scene, if you want to call it that.
It's a good scene too. Do
It is
you
a
know
funny
him?
scene.
Do you come at home? Do you ever throw something?
That whole thing is available on VHS. It's available. I think on YouTube you can find the alternate scene there. I think it's possible. You may have to do some digging on that for us, but other than that, Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is one of my favorite movies. It's one of my favorite comedies. Some things don't hold up as quite as they used to 30 years ago, and that's okay. A lot of movies are indeed what is known as products of their time, and that's understandable. It happens a lot. But I still enjoy this movie for different reasons, and I still get some kicks out of it. I still get some laughs out of it, and it's one of the movies that inspired me to get into acting, to study theater and to entertain people on stage. I did high school theater when I was in school. I did some in college, and Jim Carrey and Robin Williams inspired me to do that. So thank you, Jim Carrey. Appreciate you, man. This movie holds a very special place in my heart. One of the first movies I ever started quoting to my fellow classmates when I was a kid in elementary school there, Austin. There were some good times there. So scale 1 to 10, I'm going to give this film, like I said, some things don't work for me as well as they used to, but and some themes are a bit, not to discuss it here. But anyway, go about it as you will. Respect, with all due respect, just saying. I'm going to give this film probably a 6, if not a 7 out of 10. I still like it. I still enjoy it. It's just some things don't work for me like they did back in the day, and that's all right. It's fine. People's feelings change. People's attitudes change. People's movie tastes change over the years, as Austin and I well knows, and that's fine. It's not a problem. So 6.5, 7 out of 10, and I still enjoy this. If you've never seen, if you don't know if you've never heard the name Jim Carrey, and you want to see some of the early stages of his career, obviously In Living Color is one of the places to start because he was on that sketch comedy show where he cut his teeth and got a lot of his skills. You can also catch him in Ace Ventura. We're also going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of what is known as The Mask with Cameron Diaz later this year. Yes, I'm sure Austin's going to want to have a few words to say on that.
Hey, that's my boy Chuck Russell, who directed The Mask, who also directed the Blob remake from '88 and directed A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors. Two great horror movies from the 80s that Chuck Russell directed and then went on to direct The Mask. So good director.
Look at that, how that ties together with that particular director. Thank you for bringing that to our attention, Austin. So yes, we will be discussing more of Jim Carrey's filmography later on this year. We hope you will join us for that. But in the meantime, thank you for being a part of this episode of Movie Watch Along featuring Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, starring Jim Carrey. If you've never seen the movie before, feel free to go back and watch it. It may not be for you. It may be for you. It may be for certain audiences and maybe not so much for others, and that's okay. No problem. Certain films are better than others, and that's okay. No harm, no foul. Austin, thank you for being a part of this panel and being a part of this presentation.
Sure.
This was a lot of fun. Look forward to having you on again. I believe it's next week for 25th anniversary of The Matrix.
Yeah.
With Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne and Carrie-Anne Moss, Joe Pantoliano, and a whole bunch of other actors and actresses in that flipping film. And it turns the big 2-5, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And we just got to make a decision. Do you want to take the red pill? Do you want to take the blue pill, Neo? Anyway, Austin, if someone is watching or listening to this and want to find out more about your exquisite taste in death metal or your favorite Jim Carrey movies or maybe your favorite sci-fi movies, which may or may not include The Matrix, I don't know. Where can they find you on social media?
Austin Pestal on Facebook, but you can mostly find me as well here on YouTube. I've got it written right down below me. The Movie Hero Network. We would love to get your subscription over there. We do all kinds of shows most days of the week. We do seen and heard trivia. We do tournament fights, tier ranker fights, podcasts about movies. We do the Lonely Marks Wrestling podcast. If you're into wrestling, we got lots of stuff going on in the wrestling world right now. We do a show called Recast. All kinds of stuff going on over there on the Movie Hero Network. Please check us out over there and tune in. We would love to see you over there.
A lot of fun, my friend. A lot of fun. And we thank you for being with us. It's been a lot of fun. And man, did we have some interesting pieces of fun facts for you to share with the audience as well as myself. And we look forward to seeing what information you may or may not bring to the table for The Matrix.
I got plenty of info on The Matrix, boy. Oh, yeah.
One of my favorites.
One of my favorites, man. Oh, yeah. I love that movie. So
one of your favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's going to be a blast when we have you. We're also going to have our friends Case and Jen are going to be joining us, so that's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5 if you want to check out more of my insanity and more of my taste in Jim Carrey movies or lack thereof. I don't know. We'll see. But also make sure you're following us across all forms of social media, and the links to where you can follow Austin as well as myself are located in the description below. So make sure you check out those links, check out everything that we're doing. Once again, Movie Watch Along continues next weekend on Sunday, February the 11th. I believe it's at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to be celebrating the 25th anniversary of The Matrix, starring the one and only Keanu Reeves, who, by the way, he doesn't seem to age very much. So it's got those genes. Must be in the genes. I don't know. But that's going to be a lot of fun. Also, we are this close to hitting a magical number here, Austin. We're this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. And once we do, we're going to throw a great big live stream celebration. It's going to include returning favorites, such as Austin. I'm sure he's going to have a few thoughts about his favorite movies. Maybe his favorite movie, Aliens. I don't know. Maybe. All kinds of good stuff. You're going to be eligible to win some special giveaways, which include 11x17 prints from our good friend, The Art of John Pinto, on Facebook. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, you can support the show with our Buy Me a Coffee link in the description. Support the show. Buy us a pizza, why don't you? And if you're into merch, we got plenty of new pieces of merch. We got new shirts. We got new hoodies. We got stickers. All kinds of things to your nerdy heart's content. So check out the links in our social media and treat yourself to some really good-looking swag. Who knows? Maybe Austin will be sporting one of our good-looking T-shirts the next time we see him, since he has a very, very big collection of T-shirts featuring all kinds of different fandoms and characters and bands, including Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, Cannibal Corpse. That's a thing, right? Yeah, that's real. And we thank you for being here. And once again, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell to be notified when our new videos go up or they go live. And remember, life is better when watching movies with family and friends. Take a look.
They faced incredible odds and unbeatable enemies to earn the name hero. But now there's a new way to spell action. Jim Carrey is Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. He's the best there is.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Pet detective.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough.
Now, the mascot of the Miami Dolphins has been kidnapped,
Alrighty then.
and he's on the case of a lifetime.
Listen, pet dick, how would you like me to make your life a living hell?
Well, I'm not really ready for a relationship, Lois.
There's no place he won't go.
Captain's log, stardate 23.9.
Ace, get out of the tank.
I just can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power.
Nothing he won't do. And no one he can't handle.
Hey!
If you do anything to embarrass me in front of camp.
What? Like this?
Hi, Captain Stubing.
Because when this pet detective gets the scent,
Where's Dan Marino?
Hi, I'm Dan Marino.
Reno, why?
Because he's about to join Snowflake.
he'll follow it anywhere.
Here's Snowflake.
Jim Carrey is
Do not go in there.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, I'm a little tired, a little wired, and I think I deserve a little appreciation.